Itadori, Fushiguro, and Kugisaki walk on the street when Itadori suggests watching a movie. Lazy like ever, Fushiguro decides to go home and Kugisaki chooses shopping over a movie called Human Earthworm. And that too, a fourth sequel. Itadori narrates the entire sequel of the man turning into a human-sized earthworm, falling in love with a kind woman, and having a bunch of worm kids before being killed off for being a monster. If he thought narrating the story would convince Kugisaki, then he was highly mistaken. Kugisaki refuses to watch a human earthworm and leaves for shopping. Itadori leaves for the movies. On the other side of the road stands a girl who seems to recognize Itadori. Special grade sorcerers are the ones with exceptional talent, and first grade sorcerers have the right to recommend students who they think can be trained for first grade. Using this authority, Miyame and Aoi to recommend the names of Maki, Panda, Fushiguro, Kugisaki, and Itadori for it. If at least 2 first-grade sorcerers recommend someone, then they are given first-grade level missions with other first graders and then promoted to semi-first grade if they do well on the missions. This transition promotes sorcerers to first grades. In a match of table tennis, To-Do shows his excitement about this becoming a chance for him to go on missions with his best friend, Itadori. Mei tries to intervene, but To-Do keeps speaking in his excitement. When Miyame tells him that the recommenders cannot work with the ones they recommend, To-Do's face turns void of all expressions. Kugisaki is walking around sipping on her drink when the girl from before approaches her. She towers over Kugisaki, nervously asking if she was with Itadori a while back. Yuko Ozawa was a middle school classmate of Itadori, but she was very chubby and short back then. Now she has grown 15 centimeters taller, and the change of environment after shifting to Tokyo worked magically on her weight. She shows Kugisaki her old picture from her middle school graduation when she mustered the courage to ask Itadori for a picture. She wanted his number, but she was shifting, so she dropped the idea. Kugisaki realizes that she likes Itadori like that. She grabs her phone and asks the driver to bring Fushiguro to the diner. Fushiguro enters the diner annoyed at Kugisaki. Kugisaki explains the situation as blah blah blah, and Fushiguro's eyes widen at things being like that. Fushiguro relieves them that Itadori has no girlfriend, proceeding to sip on his black coffee. Kugisaki points out that Fushiguro doesn't like black coffee and drinks it to impress girls. Fushiguro tells them Itadori seems to like tall girls. The girls clink their glasses on Ozawa, having a chance, so Kugisaki sends curt texts to Itadori to come to the address she texted. Itadori walks in shortly. Kugisaki internally panics that Itadori will ask who Ozawa is, which might break her heart, but 10 points each from Kugisaki and Fushiguro as Itadori recognizes Ozawa right away. Flashback to middle school. Ozawa always liked Itadori, especially since she overheard him telling his friends that if he had to choose someone to date from his class, it would be Ozawa due to her cute nature. She never knew Itadori viewed her from a perspective she was not aware of. Now that she is walking back with Itadori, she realizes she is viewing her old self the same way as others because she thinks she stands a chance with Itadori now that she isn't fat anymore. Fushiguro and Kugisaki walk away wondering about the situation. Itadori catches up to them, holding all of their bags for them like a gentleman. He then rushes towards the cinema, asking what they would like in snacks, while the two run after him, refusing to watch Wormoman. Utaheim is given the task of investigating Kyoto by Gojo for the person who has been working with cursed users and spirits. Utaheim is told to work with Itadori, Kugisaki, and Fushiguro to find the 2 people working with cursed users. One of the 2 people is a higher-up she can't do much about, but they are targeting the one who is passing information to the higher-up. She mentions having analyzed all the students and reducing down to 1 potential suspect. Kugisaki figures the suspect is from Kyoto, which is why students from Tokyo were asked to help. Miwa comes to Mechamaru about assignment submission. He tells her to take the notebook while he naps for a while. Utaheim takes them to a basement where Mechamaru's real body, Kokichi, lives. Since his skill is puppet manipulation, he can use unregistered puppets perfectly to work as a mole. Kokichi looks up in his room, sensing they have arrived. As they prepare to enter from outside the room, Mechamaru prepares himself inside. Itadori enters the room only to find it empty. Seems like they were playing, but now it is a surety that Mechamaru is the mole. On the other hand, Mechamaru wasn't referring to Utaheim, but to Geto and Mahito when he said they had arrived. Since Mechamaru and Mahito made a pact that in exchange for information, Mahito would fix his body, the two had to come back to fulfill the commitment. Mahito wants to kill him, But Gito reminds him that breaking a pact formed with his own body would be disastrous. So of course, they can kill Kokichi after they fix him. Mahito walks up to Kokichi and uses idle transfiguration to fix his body. Kokichi finally stands, with a fully functioning body. Now comes the time for the two to fight each other. Kokichi assembles a whole team of puppets to attack Mahito. Mahito destroys all the puppets easily, but when he looks back, Kokichi is gone. Mahito isn't in the mood to chase and seems like his wish is fulfilled right away when something attacks him from beneath the ground he is standing on. As Mahito flies up with the water and drops down, he lands perfectly stable on his feet facing a huge robot-like monster. Turns out, Kokichi used his time to build a puppet that he can function while being inside it. He even has all the cursed energy from the time he was bound. Energy is worth 17 years. Geto lands a veil in the area, restricting some of his powers. But Kokichi is determined to get out of here and reach Gojo so he can tell him about the Shibuya plot. Kokichi knows Mahito is the danger he needs to deal with first, so he uses 1 year's worth of cursed energy to land an ultra cannon at him, shocking Mahito. Mahito keeps dodging the cannon attacks of Mechamaru, questioning if he is going to keep trying to burn him like that. Mechamaru realizes that this attack is not strong enough to damage Mahito's soul. Mahito keeps making Mechamaru chase him while he enjoys the situation. Charging 2 more years of his cursed energy, he releases a miracle cannon, but Mahito is still fine enough to launch a huge punch on Mechamaru. Kokichi has been having a secret attack up his sleeve, and since Mahito is currently confident about dodging attacks and is paying no heed to him, it is perfect to pull that off. Having 4 chances, he aims at a flying Mahito and shoots him with a bullet that strikes Mahito's shoulder. Bullet explodes inside his body, bursting his arm and throwing him far away. Kokichi has finally managed to hurt his soul. Using the opportunity, Mechamaru tries to hurt him more, but Mahito flies away in bird form again. Mechamaru is sure that he hurt Mahito's soul, so the regenerated body is an illusion. Even Geto is impressed that Kokichi came prepared to deal with Mahito. The next attack seems to follow Mahito like a missile. No matter how many forms he changes, the beams follow him all the way. Eventually, Mahito manages to dodge them and then cut off a part of Mechamaru's huge body, but Mechamaru punches him far. Determined to win it, Kokichi uploads a technique that turns his hand into a drill-like weapon and charges at Mahito. Mahito uses his domain expansion, crushing Mechamaru with his huge multiple hands. As Mechamaru lies in front of Mahito, Mahito is now amused that he has finished Mechamaru. He decides to walk away after mocking Mechamaru for overlooking his domain expansion. Inside Mechamaru, Kokichi thinks he still has 2 stocks left, and he knows a primitive technique that was used to protect the sorcerers from being killed off in the domains. As Mahito walks away, Kokichi activates a simple domain and pierces the drill into his back. Geto is impressed by this neutralizing technique, knowing it would hurt Mahito even if in his domain. Kokichi is evilly confident now and crazily faces Geto, thinking he can defeat him now. Geto observes him standing still at his place. Before Kokichi can land an attack, he is attacked by a similar drill that he used, but this one is by Mahito, who has managed to destroy Mechamaru and hurt Kokichi, who failed to kill him off. Kokichi uses his other puppets to buy himself time and then personally proceeds to attack Mahito. Miwa sits beside the sleeping puppet, Mechamaru, requesting him to let her visit the real him, which is Kokichi. She then shares that, even though they all have been spending time together, recently all of their friendships have finally developed, and that she feels closer to Mechamaru than any other classmate. Well, the bittersweet moment gives us a hint of who lost the duel. Geto and Mahito walk away from the place when Geto mentions the dangerous stunt Mahito pulled off. Mahito burst himself apart the moment Kokichi's technique activated, which is why Kokichi thought Mahito was dead, falling perfectly into his trap. Geto tells Mahito that he managed to finish the entrusted veil, so now there won't be any problems entrusting the cursed energy and spirits to others. Heading forward to October 31 Est, a 400-meter radius veil was lowered centered around Tokyo's departmental store. As everyone celebrated Halloween with full fervor in Tokyo, nobody realized something weird happening around in the environment just above them. When the veil appeared above them, surprisingly, a few people were able to see it spreading, while others could not see any difference in the sky above. One of the people slammed into thin air, making his friends think he tripped, not realizing they had indeed been trapped in a veil. The only visibly unusual thing that happened was a bunch of people being sucked into a train station. The veil traps only regular people inside, but sorcerers can enter and leave the veil with ease. The signals, however, are blocked. These sorcerers seem to have divided into groups to guard the veil from all sides. Ino tries to brag about his seniority by telling Fushiguro about signal blocking just being a side effect, and cursed energy, spirits, and people are only affected. The other team is also told the same information along with the fact that everyone surrounding the veil is only chanting one thing: to bring Gojo Satoru. This is the team Zenin that includes Naobito, Meiki, and Kugisaki. Naobito knows that the people are only being told to say so as non-sorcerers don't even know who Gojo is. The job of these teams, however, is just to be on standby. This leaves the third T of Panda and Atsuya. Atsuya tells Panda that they have decided to send Gojo inside alone to restore Shibuya while the others wait to catch any of Gojo's rebounds. Inside, the people are just trapped there, and no cursed energy or spirits have been attacking them. At the border of the veil, a guy whines over, bringing Gojo when someone asks who it is. The guy doesn't know, but just wants to get out, so he is saying what he was told to say. The calmer ones wonder why this guy is panicking so much, but he mentions the people being sucked into a train station, which might have just been a side effect of the veil lowering. His intelligent whining is disturbed when a hand entering the veil makes him fall. The arrival of Gojo Satoru.